In today's video, I'm going to share my favorite way of making a traditional granny square. Originally, I planned to include a join-as-you-go method, but it was just getting way too long, so I've decided to break it into two parts. Today, I'm sharing exactly how I like to make my squares, and even if you've made granny squares before, I hope there's something in this video that you find helpful. And like I mentioned, in the next video, I will show how to join these squares together. So if you want to follow along with that, I would recommend that you do one complete square, and then for the others, do one round less. This is a weight 4 cotton yarn. I'm using a 4mm hook with this. Adding a slip knot to my hook, wrapping the yarn around my fingers, going through the center, and pulling the yarn through. I'm going to be referring to these stitches as granny clusters. A granny cluster just means a group of 3 double crochets together in the same space or stitch. To begin round 1, make a magic ring or chain 4 with a slip stitch. I'll do the chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into the first chain. And what I like to do is carry the tail along as I make the stitches. That way I can pull on it to tighten the center. To make our first cluster, chain 3, or you can do stacked single crochets. If you don't know what a stacked single crochet is, I'll go ahead and place a card right here so you can check it out. This is going to serve as our first double crochet, and then add 2 more into the ring, making sure to carry the tail. Chain 2, work another cluster into the ring. That's 3 double crochets. Chain 2, and continue around until you have 4 clusters and 4 chain 2 spaces. To complete the round, you can do a slip stitch into the top of your chain 3 and fasten off. But if you're only using one color for your granny square, I would recommend that you finish with a half double crochet. So instead of doing a chain 2, after your final cluster, work a half double crochet into the top of your chain 3. This will place you in the center of your corner, which will make more sense when we get to round 2. Now, one thing to note here, if you go beyond 4 or 5 rounds, if you stay on the same side, you're going to notice that the center of your square starts to skew or twist. And that happens because of the nature of a crochet stitch. If you're right-handed, they lean slightly to the right, and if you're left-handed, they lean slightly to the left. So to avoid that, what you can do is turn your work after every round. Turning and flipping your work counteracts that and prevents the skewing, which will give you a reversible square, meaning it looks the same on both sides, which I really like the look of whether I'm working small or big. So I'm going to do that here so you can see what I mean. So coming back to why the half double crochet works so well when you're working with one color, because now you have a choice. You can either stay on the same side or turn your work, and the pattern will be just the same. If you're changing colors after every round, you can still do the half double crochet. It really doesn't matter. But if you feel more comfortable just doing a chain 2 with a slip stitch, that's perfectly fine as well. Another option would be to snip your yarn, nice long tail, and do an invisible join. Skip the chain 3 or even the stacked single, working into the top of the next stitch over. This is a double crochet, going into the front under both loops, going into the back of the chain, just one loop, pull through. That's going to give you an invisible join. One little tip here, we're not going to be working into these stitches, but if you were doing maybe a solid granny square and you did this, you'll notice here you don't have a stitch to work into, so you'd need to create it. So all I do here is come back in, and that'll give me a space to form a stitch. But again, we won't be working into the top of those stitches, so it's not really necessary for this square, but I just want you to be aware of that. I don't weave this first tail in, I leave it till the very end. That way I can easily see the front and the back. And then that way I can also weave this in to make sure this stays nice and tight. Here you can decide if you want to stay on the same side for every round or if you want to turn after every round to do a reversible square. For a reversible granny square, I'm going to turn or flip after every round, just like that. Fasten on with your favorite method. You may prefer doing a standing double crochet. I'll go ahead and add a card here if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, or the standard chain 3 or a stacked single crochet. I'll go ahead and do a stacked single. I have a slip knot on my hook, going in, pulling through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's a single crochet. Going into the sidebar, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's a stacked single crochet, giving the appearance of a double. Add 2 more doubles into the corner space to create half of our corner. And we'll complete it on the other side. Now for a classic granny square, it's very common to see a chain 1 in between your corners. I prefer the look of a tighter square, so I omit those. For our corners, we're working a cluster, chain 2 cluster, so that's 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in every corner space. But again, if you find that it works too tightly for you, add a chain before you do the next corner. Continue all the way around, and I'll see you on the other side. Coming back to my first corner, I already have a cluster in there, so I'm doing 1 more cluster, 3 doubles, if you're working with one color, do a half double crochet into the top of the first stitch. Otherwise, chain 2 and add a slip stitch into the top of the first stitch. Or if you prefer, do an invisible join. Getting ready for round 3, remember I'm turning after every round. An easy way to remember this is you always want to start on the back side, meaning you want to see the back side of the stitches from the previous round. So you can see how bumpy the back side is here. That's what you want to see. Fasten on in any corner using your preferred method. I'm just going to do a stacked single crochet. Working half a corner, adding 2 doubles. And now we have a side space here to work into. And we're just going to add a cluster into it. That's 3 double crochets. Again, if you want, you can add a chain 1 in between. So instead of skipping right over to the space, you can do a chain 1 and then work your doubles. But if you want it to look a little bit tighter, skip the chain and go right into the space with 3 double crochets. I'm going right over. Again, if you want to add a chain 1, go right ahead. I can already feel this cupping just a little bit, but I found it flattens back down when I'm finished. I'm just going to continue this all the way around, going into the side space directly with my 3 double crochets. And straight to a corner, all the way around. Back to the first corner, 3 doubles. And complete the round using your preferred method. Here I'll do a slip stitch just to show you the difference. You definitely don't need to do the invisible join like I've been doing. This is perfectly fine because this little knot here will be hidden under your next round of stitches. Okay, and for the final round, I'm going to flip. I can see the bumpy side. I'm on the correct side. From here on out, you're just going to repeat round 3, and you'll notice the side spaces will grow by 1 per side. So before we had 1 space on the side, now we have 2. Fasten on into any corner and work 3 double crochets. I'm doing a stacked single for my first one, and just 2 doubles after. So I'm going to skip right over to the side space and work my 3 doubles. And just continuing on with granny clusters in the spaces in between the previous clusters. Corner space, 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles. And continue all the way around. And now you can complete the round using your favorite method. I'm going to do a chain 2 with an invisible join. If you've been doing a half double crochet, I would recommend for this final round to do a regular chain 2 and play with that invisible join because it will give you a really nice clean edge. Here I have a stacked single for the first stitch, skipping over, going into the next stitch over, going into the back loop of the chain to create the stitch. And just like with the chain 3, you can see there isn't a place to work a stitch if you wanted to. This is what I do when I need to be able to work into that stitch. And see how it's created a place? I know it's very hard for you to see where I'm placing my needle into these stitches. I would recommend that you just play with it and see what works for you. And then weave in using your favorite method. And that's a reversible granny square. Flat side, bumpy, flat, bumpy for both sides. Bumpy, flat, bumpy, flat. So if you want to make a really big granny square, this is the method I'd recommend. You will not see the twisting or skewing if you do this. But if you're just working small ones like this, then you can stay on the same side if you like. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, a like is always appreciated. Don't forget, next week I will be showing how to do the join as you go technique. It is really, really easy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.